Today we gonna be reacting to how to beat the Deadies in Evil Dead Rising. Let's get right into it.
If your harebrained nephew unwittingly summoned a sadistic demonic force bent on possessing and or wiping out your entire family, what would you do? As if watching our loved ones devolve into playthings for a malicious unknown entity wasn't bad enough, a massive earthquake has trapped us in a rundown old apartment building. And with all the cell towers down as well, don't expect John Constantine to swoop in at the last minute and solve our problems for us. Fact is, if we want any chance at making it out alive, we're gonna have to find a way to make these freak shows horizontal. But as we're about to find out, they don't stay that way for very long. I'm going to break down the mistakes made, what you should do, and how to beat the Deadites in Evil Dead Rise. Beth just found out the hard way life happens fast. Now that she has one in the chamber, she decides to hang up her career as a rock and roll roadie and barge into the chaotic existence of her older sister, who she pretty much ignored during her own bout of catastrophic family struggles just a few months prior. Oh, but don't worry, Ellie quickly sends her tax write-offs out for pizza so she can share all the juicy details of her recent transition to single parenthood. And just in time for them to see the big one hit. Man, this was a short one. Oh well. And with that, all our heroes were crushed under innumerable tons of steel and concrete. Moral of the story, don't die. I'm joking, of course. Obviously, the building pulls through. Although that's pretty surprising given its age and shit.
Yeah, I should have did a movie review to this one because I went to the movies to see this with my girl. We saw this one and the Pope's Exorcist. I was supposed to do a review on them. I just never got around to it, but I'm gonna start doing those too.
General crappiness. Even more surprising is how Bridget, Danny, and Cass knew to curl up by one of the pillars. Either beside one of those or a wall is where you'll have the best chance of survival during an earthquake. It seems someone taught them well. Unfortunately, Danny must have missed the part about not immediately.
I didn't even realize until afterwards that Danny one kid is a girl in real life.
Climbing down into a freshly opened fissure mere seconds after the shaking stops. As Bridget correctly.
Sometimes I feel like they just make you want to hate kids in movies. Like, kids don't do stuff like that. This is dumb. No 10-year-old is going to be like, oh, an earthquake, let me climb down this dark hole. A grown man is not doing that, let alone a fucking 12-year-old.
Points out, this is exactly how an aftershock subtracts you from the gene pool. Not to mention the fact it could be on the verge of caving in or filling with gas from a broken line. Nah, it's totally fine. After all, moron sees an old bank vault down there. Honestly, I say go for it, dude. Your mom clearly isn't flush with cash right now, and you could definitely save her a boatload by vanishing off the face of the earth. However, much to the detriment of local test scores, not only does Danny avoid being swallowed alive by the forces of Darwinism, he ends up walking away with some dusty old tome they can pawn for beer money. Yep, just an ordinary book.
I don't want no book. I go down in a vault. You see a vault. You picking up books, bro. Leave that book in them record players, bro.
With teeth that appears to be bound in human skin.
Like, you need to put that just looking at this book.
Mom's not letting any of us out the front door again tonight.
Like, first thing in the morning.
Nope, we're throwing it out the window. Did you not see all the twisted adorning every single page? Absolutely nothing good could come from holding on to this thing for any.
Come on, man. It's like they make you want to hate kids in movies. The last Evil Dead in 2013, that one was stupid too. But he was a grown adult, as you can see, and he fucked up. But come on, kids are not built like that. As soon as you see that book with the teeth and all, and you open that shit and you see what's inside, you're like, oh no. Throw this shit out the window.
Any amount of time. Oh, but nerd, you say? Demons and curses are just fairy tales made up to sell Ouija boards and incense candles. Surely, no one would believe such a thing could ever be dangerous. Nerds. Nerd Explains, aka me, is now on Patreon. Why? Because you too. You may have noticed the insane level of censorship on my videos lately. YouTube's onslaught against anything not It's totally worth it though. Now back to the video. Well, magically unlocking itself and revealing the horrors within. No thank
That
you.
right
Out the
then.
window. Yes, someone
Out the
else will
window.
probably find it and unleash the evil spirits themselves. But it could just as easily be found back in the bank vault after work crews come in to survey the damage. At least this way, we'd be getting rid of it before one of us inadvertently signs our own
Come
death
on.
warrants. The good news is that it's
They make
2023,
you wanna
and
hate-
no
they
one
make you
under the
hate
age of
kids.
25
Movies make
has
you hate
ever
kids. Like, you
actually
just want
read a
them to die.
physical.
I'm not gonna lie, it's fucked up. But that Danny kid, as I was watching the movie, I'm like, I want him to die in the most horrible fashion. Like, I'm rooting for him to die. Like, if he lives throughout this movie, I'm gonna be mad.
Book before. So, at least we won't have to worry about someone reciting any potential magic words without realizing, well, about that. It seems the previous owners of this abomination had the foresight to include
To
an
put this
audio
in
version
an
in
audio
case future
version.
readers regress to
Right.
the attention span of a fruit fly.
Because think about that. All the other ones, you had to read the book. They said, you know what, these kids are dumb. They're not gonna read. These are Gen Z babies. Let's just give them a fucking iPod and let them listen to it.
And as we all know, vinyl's been making a
surprised-
comeback.
I'm surprised it wasn't on an iPod. It should have been. I'm surprised it wasn't on an iPod. Like, no, who really owns a record player? He just so happened to have a record player in his house. Like, come on. In 2023, who the fuck? There's not many kids, let alone kids. If this is an older person in their 60s, maybe. But I don't give a fuck what nobody say. There ain't many fucking 15-year-olds out there with a record player in their house.
Rise from the dead in the name of Satan.
Yet another reason you don't take the elevator after an earthquake. I'm pretty sure laundry can wait, and she literally just ripped her brood a collective new one for doing the exact same thing not 5 minutes ago. I get she couldn't have known a demon from hell was about to string her up like Howdy Doody, but she should have at least been aware that an aftershock could occur at any moment. If that happened while she was in motion, more likely than not, the e-brakes would have tripped and left her stranded until help arrived, which, without cell service, could have taken hours, if not all night. Meanwhile, her dependents would be left in the custody of her road rat younger sister learning alternative uses for metal spoons. Of course, what they're left to deal with now will probably make them wish she had gotten stuck on the elevator, because eventually,
Lord.
Mommy Dearest
I know they
staggers
should-
back to the apartment,
she should've
and
got stuck
oh
on the
boy,
elevator.
has she worked up an appetite.
I had the most beautiful dream. It was the perfect day, and all I could think about was how much I wanted to cut you all open and climb inside your body so that we could stay one happy family.
There's a Mother's Day
I would have been like, okay. Bro, guard is already up. I'm like, all right.
card for you. Yeah, this is not good. Ellie looks like someone her up with a coffee pot, and between her slurred speech and the fact that she puked up about 1 million gallons of whole milk afterwards, I'd say she needs a hospital like yesterday.
Like
But because the
yesterday.
elevator's shut and the stairs are out of order, all we can do is keep an eye on her until someone can bring back help. Sure, she might seem deader than Elvis right now, but people have come back from pretty shocking displays of lifelessness in the past, so we shouldn't give up on her just yet. And for that matter, why is no one performing CPR?
You! Come here! Breathe into his mouth!
Between Danny, Beth, Bridget, and all the neighbors, we could keep a rotation going for hours on end. Come on, Beth. You're the adult here. Besides, with your line of work, no way this is the first time you've seen someone unresponsive after heaving their guts out. As for how we go about reaching help, we're not nearly as hosed as one might think. That is provided one of us is willing to risk it for the biscuit. And by that, I mean Danny. Seriously, dude, your mom
Danny,
started pulling
he
an
has to go.
exorcist within minutes of you playing
on.
that creep recording. This is very obviously all your fault. So now you get to be a part of the solution.
Obviously
First
your
things
fault.
first, we need to fashion a rope out of the bed sheets so numbnuts can reach the ground in one piece. Sure, it might sound a little crazy given we're on the 14th floor and all, but 3 years ago, a couple inmates escaped the Oklahoma County Jail by rappelling down 12 stories with one of these bad boys. So, it's
Yeah,
well
yeah,
within
it's
the realm
possible.
of possibility.
It sounds
Plus,
crazy,
you don't
but it's
actually have to
possible.
make it all the way to street level. Looking down the stairwell, there's only a handful of flights missing before it picks up again. So realistically, we're only talking about 50 or 60 feet. As for the rope itself, that's the easy part. A single king-sized sheet makes about 12 feet of rope. So, if the entire floor pools together, we should have more than enough to make it down. After all, I'm sure everyone will be willing to sacrifice some linens if it means getting out of here. We'll want to attach each sheet together at the corners using square knots, and then fasten it to something sturdy, like a radiator or support beam. We could even have everyone hold on to it if there's no better option. Once Danny climbs on
That's what it was saying. Get the fuck out of here. Daddy, you gotta do that shit. You the one who brought these demons here. What the fuck? Ain't nobody climbing down that shit.
He'll want to loop the rope around his foot using the S-wrap technique to slow his descent. And from there, it's just a matter of gently sliding down at a controlled pace until he reaches solid ground. Of course, if we wanted to make this even easier, we could use Old Man Fonda's boomstick to blast our way into the abandoned apartment and access the fire escape. You know, like he suggested. Oh, except apparently we can't because, and I quote, everyone is on edge enough without guns getting fired in here. Yeah, speak for yourself, nitwit. Your neighbor just dropped dead for no reason, and everyone else is trapped up here waiting for an aftershock to finish what the city should have done to this place years ago. I think they'll understand if we tell them we're going to pop off a couple shotgun shells ourselves. Besides, it's not like everyone will immediately start eating each other's faces off over a random gunshot. This is Los Angeles, for Christ's sake.
Bro, blow a hole through that door and let's go. Like, what are we doing? Like, who gives a fuck? Now is not the time to be worried about like some gunshots. Like,
ultimately, whatever we decide to do, we'd better do it quick, because it turns out Ellie hasn't checked out yet. But as everyone's about to find out, this is not quite the miracle they were hoping for.
Yeah, that bitch is stripping.
Nope, that's it. We're throwing her out the window.
Throw outside.
And
Come
in
on.
about 30 seconds, we're really gonna wish we had, because Ellie's about to rip through her family like crap through a goose.
Man,
although it's not like
bitch.
anyone did a damn thing to try and stop her. I mean, sure, it'd probably be difficult to crack your own mother over the head with a frying.
Listen to me. Certain times people need to be sacrificed, especially when they doing shit like that. You think my mama could start crawling up the wall and I'm not busting her over the head with a frying pan without any hesitation? Bitch, you was on the wall. This mother-son relationship is over. It's done. You crazy? When I see anyone in my family members crawl on the wall, and I got a gun in the house, I'm blowing their brains out and I'm not even thinking twice. No hesitation. No, oh my God, I love you. No. Brains out, then love you after.
Frying pan, even if she suddenly
Like,
turned
this
into
bitch
a
is on the
white-eyed
walls.
freak.
Come on, I
Once
see
you
you.
watch her
No.
jab your aunt through the hand with a shard of broken glass and
Now
tattoo
you
your
know.
sister with
First,
her own
alright,
blood,
say
you
before
might
you was
want
like,
to
I don't
smack
know.
her with something a little more robust than a
on.
wooden chair, like the microwave, or my personal favorite,
Yes, my
the toilet
favorite,
tank
the
lid.
toilet,
Either way,
yes.
we need to follow up with more blows, like a lot more, and that means getting everyone in on the action. I mean, it's only right.
This dude's funny. For real, like, come on, man. Teamwork make the dream work. We stomping Mom Dukes out. I'm getting my Timbs out the closet. Nothing but footwork. Nothing but footwork. All day. Me and the whole gang. Everybody take it. I'm stomping out till my feet get tired. You crazy?
Right, she'd go out surrounded by her family. You know, as they all frantically bludgeon her to death with various
clearly
household
the bitch is
appliances.
tripping.
Lucky for us, neighbor Gabe shows
I don't
up
need all this
just
proof
in
to
time
bust
to
somebody
draw
over
the
the head. I'm
aggro.
sorry.
Gone.
Perfect. Now, time to barricade the front
Yeah,
door
yeah,
with
yeah.
pretty
Fuck
much
that,
everything
alright?
inside the
See
apartment and
outside?
start working on that bedsheet rope.
Yeah, start
I'm
working on
thinking
that
between
bedsheet
all
rope
four
thing.
of their beds, plus extras, throws, and guest sheets, we probably still have enough to make it all the way down. But even if we can only get within 20 feet, well, Danny can still
Danny
call
can
for
jump.
help on broken
Danny can
legs.
still jump.
As for our
Danny can
friends
still
in the
jump.
hall, Jesus Christ,
Danny
I'm
can
not
still
even
crawl for help with broken legs. Yeah, Danny,
sure I
come
can
on,
show
man.
what's going down out there. Suffice suffice it to say, if you're seeing a bunch of frolicking teacup pigs right now, then this proved way too hot for YouTube. In that case, I'll keep this brief. So, basically, it's like, have you ever seen someone get their eyeball bitten out by an undead witch, only to then have that same eyeball be launched like a missile down the throat of the victim's son, thereby choking him to death? It's pretty much just like that. All I can say is, it's a good thing no one fired any gunshots just now. Otherwise, someone might have had their fifis hurt. Oh, nope, never mind. Poor old fool. Everyone knows you can't kill a demon with a shotgun. You need a Barrett. All the same, why would you close the distance after dumping that? Just take a look around. It's like Art the Clown came through here. Do you really think a normal person could go around ripping people's arms off? The only thing you're going to accomplish by moving up like that is putting her inside your reactionary gap. Which is why Mr. Fonda caught a gruesome death off screen like an absolute chump. Well, whatever. All that matters right now is that Ellie's...
And face shots is always the better way to go. A head, you blow her head off, what is she gonna do? She has no head. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna shoot you in the leg and the chest. No, blow that
out
bitch's
there,
top
we're
off.
in here. So we need to take the time to shore up our defenses and improvise as many weapons
Now
as
she's a
possible.
drop top.
Unfortunately, the best we could probably hope for around here are a few kitchen knives taped to broom handles. And given she shrugged off a center mass spread of buckshot like it was nothing, I highly doubt those would get us very far. In that case, our #1 priority right now is to GTFO, which nobody seems to be thinking about.
Why is nobody
for
trying to
some
get the fuck out of Dodge?
Yes, I suppose it's possible cell phone service might return at any second, but there's no way to know for sure, and even if it does, who knows how many other disasters are currently in need of police attention. Once again, I think the bedsheet rope is the move here. None of us are too grievously injured to make it impossible, and we can have Cass climb onto someone's back and go down first. We should also be sure to barricade ourselves inside one of the interior rooms before anchoring the rope, so Ellie can't simply break in through the front door and cut us loose while we're halfway there. Of course, this is all assuming someone doesn't get us all killed by doing something extremely stupid, like opening the door for someone who looks like this.
You don't look so good,
Why
Mom.
would you? Obviously.
Nothing. A big old hug.
She don't look good, so don't open the door for the bitch. Clearly, she's ill.
A kiss from you won't fix.
Somehow I doubt it.
I doubt
Actually,
it.
you know what? She's convinced me. Go ahead and let her in, Cass. This was probably just one of those 20-minute possessions you read about online.
Yeah, she's just...
Nope, I guess not. Imagine seeing your mom viciously attack your aunt and sister before fatally mauling 4 more people just
Like, what
outside
more
the
do you need
door,
to see?
and then letting her back inside while she's still covered in their blood. Okay, sure, Cass is just a wee one.
Bro, no. That's dumb. Any kid, once you see that, you don't even want mommy anywhere near you. You're scared to death. Let alone you're opening the fucking door for her. Kids are easily scared, and bitch, you still look scary,
and all,
so
but like,
I'm not
at
letting
least
you in.
ask another adult if she can come back in first.
Yeah,
The
like-
good news is that this extremely painful experience will hopefully serve to educate her going forward. That being
Yes,
said, I
she
still
will
think we
learn.
should chain her up to a big rock for the remainder of her
Yeah,
time
just-
here,
just to
in
be
case
safe.
the lesson didn't take. Jokes aside, this encounter does give us some valuable insight into the spirit driving Ellie like a meat mech right now. It clearly has access to her memories, as evidenced by it bringing up Cass's father to try and talk
Close
her way
contact
inside.
before
This
she got
means
on.
it also probably knows about any vulnerabilities in our defenses, such as thin walls in the neighboring apartments she could rip through, or even how to access the ventilation ducts. Wink, wink. All this is to say, it's only a matter of time before she gets inside.
Yeah, she's
And
gonna get
considering
back
what
inside.
happened last time, we really don't want to be in here when that eventually happens. Oh, and just to make things worse, Bridget isn't looking much better than her mom right now. Evidently, that Davos group diet isn't agreeing with her. Not to mention the fact that she's leaking some serious
Yeah.
chocolate sauce
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now.
she's leaking
Yeah,
that chocolate
maybe
sauce.
just tip your head back. You know, pinch your
Yeah,
nose.
just lean back.
Nah, what am I
You gotta
saying?
just lean
Chick's a
back.
total goner. And sure enough, by the time Beth gets to her, she's perched up on the counter working her My Strange Addiction B-roll.
I gotta kill the creepy crawlies that I got inside my tongue.
Seems
you do?
reasonable. Maybe
All
wash
right.
it down with a little antifreeze afterwards. showers, cleanse the palate.
The shit that be getting me people
Now's
up,
the
but
part
everybody with
where
the shock
Beth
and
needs to
confused
call in
look.
Danny
Like,
for the
but you know
double
what's
team
going on.
before
Okay,
she lets
but you
Ellie
tripping
back
too?
in for a
Okay.
2-on-2. I mean, I know Team Humanity doesn't exactly have the best track record against these things so far, but it's either that or they kill us all. So we're doing it, period. Knowing this, I gotta wonder why Danny would respond to the blood-curdling screams of his aunt getting cheese grated without a weapon in his
the
hand.
cheese
Dude,
grater.
what on earth did you think it could possibly be? At least grab a desk lamp or something so you're not forced to immediately turn tail and run at the first sign of trouble. Luckily, there's at least one person in this family who recognizes a call to arms when she hears one.
Little girl, she redeemed herself. That little girl, she redeemed herself.
All right,
I was rooting for her.
Stephanie
She
coming
redeemed
in
herself
clutch.
for that one.
Plus,
Coming in clutch.
now we know we can actually put them down with normal physical means.
And
I guess it
throw that bitch
figures
out the
they'd be
window.
powerless without their brains. On second thought, we probably shouldn't count her out just yet. With everything we've seen out of Ellie so far,
Come
this
on.
could
Yeah,
just be
you
a
don't know.
ruse, man.
One, you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know how strong they are, what they can and cannot survive. So I'm throwing that bitch out the window. 14 floors up, yep. It don't matter where we at. I don't want you in the house, bitch. Open that window and throw this bitch out. 14 floors, yeah, she's gonna be paste. She's gonna be mashed potatoes. So throw that bitch out the window.
Meant to catch us off guard. In that case, I think we all know what we need to do with her.
I thought I should tie her up.
What? No,
Throw her
you
out the
dumb.
window.
Throw her out the window. Obviously, she's just going to break free when you least expect it and totally jack you up. At least if she somehow manages to peel herself off the sidewalk, Looney Tune style, it'll probably
Which I
take her a
don't.
while to
Yeah.
make it back up here.
It'll take
Plus,
her a
while
while.
their wounds don't seem to phase them that much, they don't appear to be healing back up either. And I can't imagine a totally pulverized skeleton will do wonders for
Yeah.
Bridget's hand-to-hand skills.
Yeah, she
And
would be
besides,
fucked.
if
Throw
you're
her out the
holding out
window.
hope that she can be changed back, I'd go ahead and toss that out the window right after her. Safe to say that even if whatever this is could be reversed, she probably wouldn't be too happy with a massive gaping hole through her head. Of course, this brings up the fact that we still have no idea what's going on, so it's not necessarily the worst idea in the world to try and figure out what we're up against while we have some time to do so. To that end, Danny
Toss that
finally
bitch.
spills the beans to Auntie
Yeah,
Beth.
we playing in horror movies. I believe in real life. People are a lot smarter in real life. Like if they see certain things like this happening in front of their eyes in real life, and they in these situations, they would deal with it a lot smarter than people in movies. Because I think most normal people would be like, all right, toss this bitch. What the fuck? Once they get the Mom Dukes out the crib, I think most people would be like, all right, yo, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. I know me, I'm panicking. I'm scared to death. So I'm getting the fuck up out of here one way or another. If I gotta jump out this motherfucking window and try to Superman this bitch, I'm getting up out of here. Grab these sheets, tie this bitch to fuck, we getting up out of here. And every apartment's supposed to have a fire escape, so I don't understand that. That's kind of weird. But whatever. We get tie this bitch to the radiator, triple knot that bitch, tie it up, man, we getting up out of here.
Beth about the book he found under the garage. Still,
man.
I can't decide whether I'd fire up the last of those vinyls or not. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess it stands to reason that if the old priest was able to record and label them, he might have made it out alive. But on the other hand, he just as easily could have made album number 3 after joining the dark side. And the last thing we need right now is Cthulhu rolling in to finish the job.
Cthulhu.
Barring any knowledge of what happens
For
next,
real.
let me know
Last
what
thing we
you
need is
do
the
down
devil
in the
himself caught
comments.
up here,
As
but
for
goddamn
Beth,
it.
she decides to roll the dice and take a listen.
That's it, man. Game over, man.
Game over, man.
What are we
Game
gonna do
over.
now?
That's
What are we gonna
basically
do?
That's
Yeah,
basically
that's
what they
pretty
should've
much
said.
the gist of it. Dude on the
That's
recording
basically what they
basically
saying.
says he can't find a way to put down his possessed colleagues no matter how much he hacks them apart. Although,
Blow they
I don't
fucking
know
brains
about
out.
you, but I'd much rather be dealing with them in little bits than all in one piece.
Come on.
I mean, they
I don't give a fuck how hard to kill you are. I'll chop you up in little pieces. That's the end of you. It's like, come on, like, what the fuck? Oh my god, you just can't stop them. You can't? You can't. You can't. Okay. Alright. Give me a big ass. Give me a chainsaw. I will show you how you stop a motherfucker. 59 pieces.
they still have some degree of physical limitations.
Yeah.
And if we could chop Bridget and Ellie into 20 pieces each and bury each individual chunk inside its own ammo can, I don't see how they could continue to be a problem. I don't know.
that's the end
Maybe
of
there's
that.
something I'm missing here. One thing's for sure. The moment Beth heard the part about them
I doubt
being
your fucking
unkillable, she
foot
should
is
have
gonna
hauled
come after me.
back to Danny and Cass before something easily predictable happens. Otherwise, what? She's just gonna stand there shutting out the entire world while her nephew gets filleted 2 rooms over. And there goes the marinade.
yeah, he's
Yum.
fucked.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll probably notice a lot of black and white from here on out. All I can say is
there's a
that
lot of
any
blood.
fluid you see on screen going forward is, in fact, delicious Hershey's syrup. And nothing else. Fortunately for Danny, the many years of polluting his body with Axe body spray prepared him for this very moment. Although, it seems the damage is
Yeah.
already done.
I'm kinda
Regardless,
mad he didn't die
this
more
all
brutal
probably
than
could have been avoided had Cass and Danny hung out next to Beth while she went over the
In the
record.
room.
What
Why would y'all
possible
not stay in
reason
the
could you
room
have
alone?
for splitting up at that time? You already...
People piss me. Like, why are you splitting up? Think about that for real. Why would you do that? Not now. Bitch, all of us staying in the same room, everybody watch each other's back, listen for shit, especially if I'm gonna be putting on the headphones and not seeing and hearing what's going on. Like, no. Oh, let's split up.
already knew just how hard it is to face them on your
Only
own. So
movies.
why
In
not
real
stick
life,
together?
Bitch, where you going? Ain't no, we all sticking together. Ain't no, in real life, people don't split up when shit gets drastic. You go your way and I'll go my way. No. We stick together so you have a better chance of fighting whatever this thing is.
Together in case something goes horribly wrong, like it literally just did. Besides, if I'm Beth, I'd definitely want someone around to warn me in case my
on.
demon-possessed older sister slithers down from the ceiling to totally f my day up.
And you just stop. Like,
Really?
why would you
You're not
think
even
that would
gonna
stop her?
try to stick it in her noggin? You
Come
know,
on.
the only place on their bodies where your attacks have had any effect so far? No wonder Ellie looked so disappointed
Yeah,
back
she's
there.
so
Oh, well, we all know she's not gonna finish her off right away.
Yeah,
No,
she
like
gotta
any
play.
good demon, she needs to take a few seconds to act all
Throw her
spooky
around.
while her victim searches for something to stick her with. And this time around, Beth knows just where to aim. Scissors cuts paper. Nah, that doesn't work at all. Well, whatever. This is far from
I
over
wouldn't expect
anyway.
that to
At
work.
best,
Chop the
we've
bitch
bought
up.
ourselves a minute
Throw
or
her
two
out
to
the
grab
window.
Cass and make her escape. Which is why we should waste exactly 0 seconds answering her wholly inappropriate questions about her family planning ambitions. Especially since we don't actually have an exit to take right now. What we do have, however, is Mr. Fonda's old side-by-side, which I would immediately turn on that door to the fire escape like we should have done about an hour ago. Provided there aren't any other high-value targets around, that is. Nice flinch,
shot her in her
Deadeye.
leg.
Although it seems to have gotten the job done.
I mean,
In that
you
case,
slowed her
how
down.
about instead of wasting a shotgun shell delivering another blow she'll almost certainly survive, why don't we blast open the door and make a run for it? After all, even if we manage to put Ellie down for good, we still have Bridget and possibly even Danny to worry about. And speak of the devils, here they come now. I gotta say, I think Beth's decision to get in the elevator here is totally bad. I mean,
Yeah, I
sure,
wasn't doing
it
that.
clearly has power, but in no way does it seem to be in working order. And
don't
even if
seem
it was,
operational.
you gotta
I'm not
believe
doing
the freaks are just gonna jump on top and torture us the entire way down. That said, once Cass removes the car keys jamming up the doors, there's no going back. So, we better pray to everything out there this crate starts moving before they finish forming Voltron. Otherwise, we've come all this way
for real.
just to wind up a box lunch. And it looks like our prayers might have been answered, although definitely not in the way I'd hoped. Still, all that Hershey syrup pooling up around us must weigh a ton, and it just so happens this car is only rated for 900 pounds. Yeah, no way anyone's living through that, chocolate or no. But of course, if a couple squishy mortals can walk away from that mess unscathed, you can be Sure, the spirit spiders still right on their heels. However, it seems our little miracle streak doesn't end there. Not only do we have a head start on the creepy crawly, we also have a fully functional Buick we can use to leave it in the dust.
Buick,
And we
baby.
don't even have to crank on it 50 times to get it started. That means all we have to do now is calmly drive up to the gate, open said gate, and then leave this mess for the Doom Slayer. And yet, for some unknown reason, Beth decides to stop some 30 yards from freedom as though she needs a running start.
Like, why
drive
would you
across
stop so far? Oh my god, people in movies really get me mad. You could make them not dumb and still have them in bad situations. Just make the person, the monster, come and stop them before they do what they do. But don't make them do dumb shit for the monster to get the upper hand. Because it's like, come on, man. Normal people wouldn't do that. Normal people
perfectly
all
level
driving
ground.
straight through the
And
fucking
wouldn't you
game.
know
Just
it,
keep
she
going.
parked the drive tires directly on top of the giant crack that started it all. Awesome. Now, because we're so far away, we have to make a mad dash from the
Right.
creature just to have a chance at rolling under the wire at the last possible second. And guess who comes up short? Oof.
Yep.
Well, tough luck, Squirt.
Tough luck.
I mean,
yeah,
they
yeah.
just
Come on, let's keep it real. She's dead because I'm not going back for her. I am not going back at it. Hey, love you.
dragged her off towards a
But-
wood chipper. No way she's coming back from that. Besides, now she's with her family again.
Yeah,
See,
she's with
look
her
how
family.
happy Ellie is.
Come on,
Holding
they're all together now as a whole family. I'm good.
that chainsaw.
out.
All right, fine. We'll go back and get her.
No,
But
unless
we're
I
gonna
got a
have to do it.
fucking rocket launcher and a fucking and the team that The Rock had in the movie Doom, them niggas with me, and a fucking rocket launcher. I'm not going back for. I'm sorry.
Do it quick. In that case, we should move straight to the side of the tree truck where Cass is and swat the blades away with
And
the
possibly,
shotgun
like,
barrels.
Thor. If Thor was there
Afterwards,
with me,
we
we
dump our
gone.
last
Let's
two
go get
shells
her.
into the
If
limbs
Thor
holding
ain't
this
there with
off
me, I'm not
and
going.
yank the girl away as we run like... That is pretty much the only way I could see this actually working. And even then, it still sounds completely insane. So now, let's see what Beth
Good
comes
son
up
of a
with.
Come get some.
Well, she got some. Okay, let's review all the reasons that was dumb. First of all, you're firing with your niece directly downrange, and silhouetted
And you have a
against the
shotgun.
truck like that, you have no idea what you're even aiming at. What you do know is that you'll be shooting Ellie in the back, which is likely to push her forward, thereby driving the whirling blades of death directly into Cassie's face. Oh, and let's not forget the way you perched yourself. Needlessly, I might add, on a narrow, uneven surface, meaning you couldn't simply sidestep the saw throw and go for a follow-up shot. No, you had to fall over backwards and crank off your last remaining shotgun shell into the ceiling. Now, as a direct result of this profound stupidity, we're being fed feet first into a roaring wood chipper. And this is exactly where our story would end were it not for the fact Big Bad seemingly forgot Cassie ever existed in the first place. Of course, I can't dump all over Beth's massive mistakes without bringing up some of Ellie's.
Yeah.
And that list begins
all
and
make stupid
ends with
mistakes.
one very important thing. You gave her a chainsaw. Yeah, let's see those pieces come back to get us. And with that, Beth and Cassie
Yeah,
are
those pieces
finally
ain't coming
free to
back.
leave this heap of a high-rise once and for all. And hopefully, also LA. But we'll take what we can get. Oh, and I guess Beth has a sort of last word with her not-sister before the finishing move. But it's getting pretty gratuitous at this point, so I'll cut it off there. Seriously, if you want to know what she says, go watch it yourself. It actually wasn't half bad. In the end, only Beth and Cassie made it out alive. However, had we
Cassie
recognized the
was cool. She
severity of
caught
the
a body.
situation right
Well, she
away
didn't catch a
and
body,
let
slowed
Mr.
her down,
Fonda
though.
clear a path to the fire escape, most, if not
Yeah,
all of the
all of them
neighbors
would've probably
could have
lived.
made it out before things got crazy. As for Team Beth, Ellie was hosed the moment her son spun up that
Yeah,
record,
she was fucked
and by
from the minute he
extension,
did that.
so
She
was
has no hope for her because it went after her first. She was done from the minute he spent that. He dropped that.
Bridget,
mixtape.
but we could have still gotten Danny out by sticking together and focusing on an exit strategy. Not that he actually deserved it,
Yeah,
though.
no,
Anyway,
no. Danny deserved to die. He should have got possessed. Why he didn't get possessed? But that's the thing, though. Yeah, that's true. The person who reads the shit never gets possessed. It always possess somebody else.
for those reasons, I think The Evil Dead Rise was beaten. Moral of the story: when life hands you problems, throw them out the nearest window and let someone else deal with them.
Throw it out the window. Alright, that's the end of the video right there. I watch these videos all the time. I'm gonna start reacting to a couple more of these. But like and subscribe. I'll be back to y'all with another one. Let's go.